Benny Gantz, welcome to 7:30.
Shalom, and thank you for having me.
Is regime change still Israel's primary goal in this war?
This war is very important, led by the United States, enjoyed by Israel, and I think we have two layers that we are looking at. First and foremost, take capabilities from the Iranians, especially those ballistic missiles, nuclear capacity, industrial capacity, naval capacity that jeopardize activities that we have in the Gulf and other places. And the higher lever, I would say, is change the regime or change within the regime. I mean, it is for the Iranian people to decide what kind of regime they want to have, but we're just setting the condition for them to act if they decide to do so. Or, if you wish, whoever runs Iran in the future will have to remember what might happen if he continues the 47 years of destabilizing the region. If he continues that, then we can come back.
But reports from US intelligence as recently as today say that Iran's leadership is not at any risk of collapse. We're not seeing large numbers of Iranian people take to the streets. Can you claim success if nothing fundamental changes in the regime?
Sarah, I think we need to have determination and patience and wisdom. Determination to continue what is it we are doing, and of course, patience, because those process takes time. And we have to constantly reassess where are we, what are the chances of moving forward, what has changed on the ground, who is joining in, who is staying out. And we are only on the 13th day of the campaign, so I think we should wait a few more days to see where it's going.
That said, with what's happening in the Strait of Hormuz, if those tankers aren't able to pass through the strait and for oil trade to properly resume, President Trump is going to come under enormous pressure to end the war. What happens if he takes that decision?
Well, we'll have to see what happens then, but I think that President Trump really understands, and he showed this leadership that understands that what we are talking about, it's not the crisis of last week or this week or next week, but what should be the future. Should we allow the Iranians to take hostage the energy capacity of the world in future times? So it's true that gas price goes up a little bit now. It may even go even higher, but look at it from a longer term perspective. And I think that we should look for the next generations, not only for this current war. Therefore, I'm saying once again, we need to be determined, we need to be patient, we need to be wisdom to figure out what really is happening and then to take the decision. It's too early right now.
But nonetheless, the US administration has been deeply chaotic in its messaging about the war. Do you accept that that undermines the support that you have received to this point, including from Australia?
Well, I think that what characterizes United States, this current administration is leading by deeds and not just leading by words. And I think that those are time of deeds. And I expect the international community to understand that we are actually, as well said by the Germans, we are doing the dirty work for the rest of the world. Instead of criticizing us, I would suggest for the entire community to understand that what is being done now is for the better future of this region and the better impact on the world itself, and to join it and not to criticize it.
I think the distinction you're making there is between the US military and US politics. But let me ask you a different question, if I may, Benny Gantz. There's no dispute that Iran had sped up its capacity to enrich uranium, but all of the reports that have come out, both from the international organisations that look at Iran's nuclear capability, from US intelligence, all of that made clear that Iran was not in the process of building a bomb. What justified military action at this moment, given all of that intelligence?
I would say that the right time in terms of operational capability. Look, I'm talking to you from a kibbutz about a mile from the Gaza border. We took the lesson learned from October 7th that one should not wait to be butchered in order to do something, and you need to find the right time to prevent it if other courses failed, which they did, because the Iranians were actually filibustering the whole process, and they continued to immune themselves, to fortify themselves under the ground, and it would come to a point that you cannot do it anymore. So I suggest when you have fundamentalistic regime like the one we saw in Gaza, or like the one we have in Iran, and its building capabilities, to assume that if he will have the opportunity, he may use them, and then find the right time to act against it. Now, war is not a nice time. It's not a fair play. You have to do it in the right time from your perspective as an operator. And I think that's what we did right now.
You used to believe in your previous roles in the potential for negotiation, backed up by military capability, absolutely, but you believed in the potential for negotiation to maintain some degree of peace in the Middle East, particularly with regards to the nuclear program. Is it October the 7th that changed that for you and indeed for the rest of the Israeli political class?
What October 7th changed in us, it's not that we don't believe in negotiation or we don't like peace or that kind. On the contrary, we do. It is that we need to look at reality as it is and not how we hoped it to be. And we understand that when you have fundamentalistic regime with strategic capabilities, he may use them and you don't have the same rationale. If you look at what happened in Gaza, we destroyed Gaza and Hamas in Gaza because we had no choice, and I think Sinwar knew it in advance that that's what's going to be the end. Nevertheless, he did what he did on October 7th, go back to the Iranians, even though the people trying to say that they are rational, etc., but nevertheless, they have radical fundamentalistic approach, and if they have capacity, they will end up using it. So we cannot take the risk. Not us, Israel, the only Jewish country in the world, not the region that is being threatened by Iran. And let us not forget, before all those events that October 7 and on started, the one that was mostly attacked by the Iranians, whether directly or indirectly by the proxies, was Saudi Arabia. They took Aramco 4 or 5 years ago. We remember that. It's not that we are talking about peace administration. This is administration have other considerations.
You quit Benjamin Netanyahu's war cabinet over concerns that the government lacked a plan for the day after in Gaza. How confident are you now that the same government has a clear objective in Iran?
First of all, I'm also watching what they are doing, and I'm having discussions with them, and I'm trying to influence how they think about the continuum of the future. But we have to understand that as far as Iran, there's no right or left in Israel. There is right or wrong. And we think that what we are doing now is right. Therefore, when time of emergency, real emergency happens, I will support any government, and it has to do nothing with my political aspiration or basic ideologies.
Will Israel send ground troops into Lebanon to defeat Hezbollah?
First, we posed our troops as a defense shield before our villages and towns and kibbutzim along the border. We are in offensive activities against Hezbollah in different places. But once again, here's another tragedy. The state of Lebanon, if it would just up to the Lebanese government, they would have peace with Israel. But we have the Iranians who influenced through Hezbollah and took hostage the state of Lebanon. And what does it help? The entire European countries are talking about the government of Lebanon if the government of Lebanon cannot do things because Hezbollah is so strong. Why? Because Iran is supporting him. So once again, I hope the times will arrive that we'll have peace with the Lebanese government. I think there are better chances to achieve that now than before. Hopefully, Hezbollah will be dismantled as the Lebanese government and the international community demanded. And as someone who served 22 years in Lebanon, in not all the time, I'll be very happy to see peace between our two countries.
Just a question on Australia. Last year you expressed significant solidarity with the Jewish community in Australia while there were anti-Semitic assaults going on, but particularly also after Bondi. Do you give credit to the Australian government for setting up a Royal Commission to look into anti-Semitism?
Yes, I think that Australia should do that. And once again, if you try to run away from anti-Semitism, if you try to run away from terror, it will chase you. And I think we should chase them. Unfortunately, in Bondi event, I even have personal aspect. The elder son of my best friend was badly wounded. He was evacuated a few weeks later back to Israel. So we all know it firsthand. And I think the Australian, which is a very great country and very important country and very liberal country, once again, look at anti-Semitism and act against it because it's against its own values.
Benny Gantz, thank you very much indeed for joining me.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.